afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All I have for today's meeting is, I just presented you with some information that they should have for the PALS Alabama spring cleanup on Drop on Alabama. It's just informational, copy of the laws, and then information of the cleanup is in April. And then included in the packet is a sign up paper if you have a group or anything in your area that if they want to sign up for the cleanup, release a liability form, and then just a reporting form. I just want to provide you all with a copy of that, and let you all know that April is the month of spring cleanup, and we're going to get the bags this week. So we'll have all that in our office ready if anyone wants to participate. That's really all I got.
Anybody got any questions for the engineer?
One comment on that before. During April, why don't we figure out a way we can do some posts throughout the month to highlight our, now obviously when we have these people that are signing up and doing the Don't Drop on Alabama, we want to highlight that, but also figure out a way to highlight our little program during that month. And you know, we talking here all the time about picking up 7 tons average a month and all that stuff, but have some, you know, have some social media posts that go along with that. This many miles of road, and pick up this much garbage, and you know, maybe even get some before and after pictures. Maybe some, we picked this up 2 weeks ago, here's what it looks like now, pictures. I don't know, somebody's probably smarter at me in figuring out how to do this correctly, but it'd be a good month if this is, if that's the focus month, and really to highlight that program.
I'm going to, if y'all don't mind me interjecting, if y'all go out and do some pickup, I know you said y'all did y'all do some recently on the New York Road?
We used to do it.
If y'all, I know you usually get me some pictures when y'all do it. If y'all do it or go out with anybody, if y'all get us the pictures from going out and do it, we'll definitely get that.
We usually do it the month of April for the dump drop on month.
Okay.
It's usually when we coordinate.
When y'all do it,
more communities what we do.
yeah, be sure you get us some pictures. We'll be glad to get some pictures out there. I'll have to check.
Well, we need to coordinate with the sheriff chief, like out on the roads, people be picking up, people be coming down the road. I've been in 2, 3, and we had sheriff, had somebody ride with it down the road.
Good. Very good. Anybody else?
Yeah, Bill, see, where are we on this? We done our first herbicide spraying yet, or is that?
We have, yes, sir. That was
Pre-emergent spraying?
it was just a pre-emergent with some weed killer in it for, all that was completed in February. So it is all complete.
Last year we had some spots, we have, you know, got missed or came back up, and you feel like we got better coverage this year?
Yes, sir. We did last year in the pre-emergent, we didn't do full right away. I believe they only did the first 10 feet or 15 feet, I can't remember sure, of the, you know, from the pavement, edge pavement. This year we did it full right away, all the way back to the right away line, because it appeared to be really successful last year. So we did full width, and have had to go back a little bit and point out a few areas to it, but I think we've got a good coverage.
This is not something for you to answer today, but something that came up that we're getting into the time. I know last year as we were tweaking our spray and mow program, we had some contractors that we decided we were going to do better and do different. Might be a good idea to get us kind of an idea on how we plan to attack that. That might be a little unfair to you, and we, 1.5 is interim, but I know if we don't have a plan now, we're going to be in trouble.
And we do have one in the office. Russell and I actually got to spend a lot of time there before his retirement and reviewing our plans from last year. and discussing, changes, that, before he left, that he had already intended to, to implement. So I've got some of that in my office. I can get
Great,
it for you.
thank you. Anybody else? Thank you, Derek. You may, Mr. Hurd.
I am for
Anybody got any questions or comments? Stone filter or anything?
Well, I hate to ask him everything, I try to ask him everything. So I'm assuming we're in the same,
We got two, and we're waiting on the others. I didn't call, and they said they were still processing. So hopefully by the next 2 weeks, I'll be able to answer.
Thank you. Attorney report out.
No report, other than us. I know everybody got a copy of the proposed legislation of the local act. We can take, I don't see it on the agenda, but I guess we can take it up just to confirm that's acceptable and accurate.
It's going to need to be added.
yeah, I looked at it, it's the way everything should be written, very short and concise.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you. Does any commissioner have a report at this time?
Well, as my legislative committee stuff, session has started, immediately went into special session, so not a lot's going on, just the ARPA funds. I know if y'all been checking your emails, ACCA has been sending out a lot of stuff about getting the stormwater language added into the ARPA funds bill. I've got a breakdown of I'm sure it's been tweaked since then, if anybody wants to look at it on the, it's roughly $1 billion and how they broke it out, but in the infrastructure side of it, ACCA is trying to get stormwater language spoken with our representative and Senator. They're both amenable to that and working toward that. I don't think it got added in the House. I was told that the language would be added in the Senate and that they would accept it. We'll see how that goes. That's really the only thing. There's one bill in the House that's trying to get the trust fund paid off early, which would be a good thing, I guess. But other than that, that's really all that's going on.
Okay.
The Wiregrass RC&D grants, that application, the program application's open in April 1st to June 30th. So I know everybody's got areas and, I know we deal with the county schools a lot, they have programs.
April 1st?
It opens April, they can go on and start working on their applications, but April 1st is actually open where they can submit, and closes June 30th. So.
Anybody else?
We met with the DECA in reference to broadband for the unserved. I have to be very clear on that, and Kenzie was there as well as Commissioner Wright was there, and I think it was pretty good. And we just need those who are not served.
They sent me, that's what's on our agenda at the bottom, I'm sure Mackenzie will cover. They sent me an agreement that I passed on to Mackenzie, she forwarded to everybody for us to take up. This is a different federal program.
Right.
It'll be like next year before the funding is released. There's other programs that are out there now, but we are above the state threshold. We're at 92.5% served by the federal definition. So it's only that, what, 7.5% these funds will touch, but that's very important for that 7.5%.
That's right. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to say that Saturday we had rinks installed, putting out decorations, stuff up there at the park on Benfield. And they furnished and everything, everybody got to do that, plus they furnished food for them to eat, they just putting it up. They didn't get as far as they should, thought they was going to get, because all of the stuff didn't come in. Yeah.
That was a good program. I appreciate them doing that. Okay, Kenzie?
All right, under my report, the first item has a new account for fiscal permit grant funds, but I have added an additional memo to your, to y'all up there. We also need to look at approving an account for the opioid settlement money that started coming in. The auditors are telling us, the examiners are telling us that we've got to keep those in separate funds, so this is a request to open checking accounts for those two items. This is something that I'll ask you to suspend the rule on because we've actually started getting funds for both of those two items. So,
Question, is the opioid settlement funds restricted?
yes, they are. They're restricted on how you can spend them. It has to be directly to do with law enforcement, and they want them separated out to show how we're spending them. The same, it goes the same for the pistol permit grant funds. This is that revenue replacement for where they've changed the laws on the pistol permit. We got our first check for this first quarter, I think it was $2,250. But we got to, the sheriff had requested we give it back and put in his pistol permit funds, but the examiners are telling us, no, you need to keep it and keep a record of what it's being spent on so that we can show it's being spent on for what the law says the pistol permit can be spent on. So, it's two more checking accounts and two more funds that we'll have to open up for the county. And like I said, we've already started getting the funds, so I would request that we go ahead and spend the rules and vote so that we can get these accounts open and get those monies moved in separate bank accounts.
Okay.
The next item is County Advocacy Day. This is just more or less for letting y'all know. I believe you all got an email, and I think I forwarded it to you also. These are the dates. They're not going to set a date for Pike County or for every county for that, but these are the dates they have available. ACCA is going to have something up there. If everybody wanted to go or not, this is something that we would need to look at. Maybe if we all wanted to go at the same time to try to come up with one of these dates that would work for at least the majority of everybody to go up there to be able to talk with our senator and our representative, maybe schedule some appointments with them.
About so we need to figure it out so we can set those.
Last year was kind of hard to try to set up something, so it would be something we kind of need to look, if everybody can look at the calendar and try to let me know, we'll try to coordinate and see what works best for the majority of everybody.
I got the dates written down, we can talk between the meetings.
The 28th's been canceled, and this is the 28th's been canceled, which that's March, I don't think you
Yes,
can go that quickly anymore. So it's just something I wanted y'all to look at, no action needed on that, just letting you know. I have a third item, and you got a memo or a letter from me that I need to add under my report, and I would ask this be, the rules be suspended. The commissioner, Revenue Commissioner Blair, has asked to surplus an old vehicle that they're not using and to sell it at the auction that'll be held at the Cattleman's, I believe April the 1st this year. And they've got to go ahead and report and get that stuff, information out to them before then, so they're asking to go ahead and approve it tonight and not wait to the next meeting just because they need to get some stuff turned into the Cattleman's auction to be able to sell that vehicle. But you know, they got a newer vehicle in their office just a few months ago, and so this is one they're not using, and so they're just sell it to declare it surplus. None of the other, I've talked to some of the other departments, I think the probate office, probate judge is gonna have some stuff in it, but it's nothing that would need to be surplus. And the sheriff's office right now is not gonna put anything in there. I did talk to them and make sure with them if they had anything for that. That's all under new business. Under current business, we did receive 2 bids on janitorial service, but after talking to some of the elected officials, I guess they're all pretty much in department heads over there, they have requested the way that we do the bid, it works well that we have this building cleaned at night when we're not here, but they have requested that they have somebody there during the day. So the bids did not come in written that way, to have somebody in there during the day. So it looks like, unless you want to go ahead and award one of these bids, one of them was a lower bid. They came in, one was about $96,000 a year, and one is $125,000 a year. For the janitorial service, including all the cleaning supplies other than paper towels and paper napkins, that stuff that would go in the bathrooms, but they would handle all the chemicals and cleaning supplies. With that being that I have had elected officials and stuff ask me, please, let's have somebody here during the day on staff, so we need to rebid it if that's the avenue we want to take. They do
Anybody have
have
any thoughts or
some
comments on
I
that?
mean, they have some sensitive items there, which they would be licensed and bonded, that's part of the bid, but they are still asking that nobody be in the offices after hours when nobody's there.
So their request is that we don't outsource.
No, it's not that we don't outsource, no, it's just that the cleaning does not happen after
I
hours.
thought I heard you say on staff, that's what I was trying to
Oh,
clarify.
no, sorry.
All right, so it's just they want somebody there 8 to 5.
I guess there's certain things that could happen while there's a crowd of folks
Yeah,
there.
they're worried about that, they're worried about running out of toilet paper or paper towels during the day when they're having courts and stuff, and we have some valid concerns, and the fact of leaving some stuff on desk at night, that people, even though they are licensed and bonded, they would be employees for those companies, there's still some stuff that might be sensitive laying out in offices, and they want to be there when everybody's in there. I think we may have to make some concessions to the cleaning companies about cleaning some of the public spaces after hours, because we don't want somebody sweeping and mopping while people are walking up and down. But this would allow us to do something like a day quarter or something like that during the day, and then have more of a cleaning time after hours, at least for the more public spaces, not the closed off offices.
Probably need to take this back to the drawing board.
That's what I'm essentially asking y'all for, unless you have a.
It sounds like more of a hybrid approach that is going to cost more money.
I'm not sure that it will, because I've actually had one of the two companies that bid it said, well, we would provide a day quarter or something in the mornings at the same cost that we've already given you. The problem is, we can't award that because that's not how the bid was written. So either way, we would have to rebid the bids. So I don't foresee a big increase from that, and it may even change some things even for them. It may be easier for them to do some of the cleaning and not have as much cleaning to have to do at night or earlier in the morning. So,
Probably go to
hopeful not.
those department heads and before we go out there this thing.
Why don't we just, do a part-time individual?
We don't have space over there. The building wasn't built to have an employee in there doing that.
I'm trying to run the day.
That's what, there's no, I don't know that there's really, I mean, there's some cleaning closets over there, but that's all. They have a mop station or something like that in there. And we didn't make plans for necessarily bringing in chemicals or mop heads or buckets and all that. This would be the responsibility of the cleaners.
They have equipment,
Well, that's what we would include that in the bid, is what I'm saying. We would include having a day porter, is what they're called by cleaning companies, a day porter that would be employed and be part of the bid, that they would have somebody there to do those items. So I'm asking to allow me to write the bid to change some of that wording in there, to get that included in the bid.
Okay.
Let's see, the next item would be, we have an FMLA request from the probate office. There's a letter there requesting that. And then we have the ADECA Broadband Technical Assistant Program Agreement that Commissioner Copeland and Commissioner Pearson have already spoken about. That agreement is in your package. And it's just essentially an agreement saying that we would work with ADECA on trying to locate and find the individuals throughout the county, or them to be able to reach out to us to let them know that their services and whatever are needed.
It's part of their requirement to try to get all those agreements in place for that funding. I'm not sure how much Alabama got, but it's like a $45 million fund. And some of that's determined by, that's why they're having these meetings and trying to get so many people there.
The item that's not listed on here would be, I've added item 11, the proposed legislation, taking action on that, so that we can get moving forward on it. And that's all I have.
Anybody got any questions or comments? Thank you. Anything else need to come before the commission at this time? All right, work session is now closed, and we'll reconvene at 6 p.m. for the regular meeting.